So here's a question, and it might sting a little. Does your company actually believe in anything, or does it just collect ideas like a Pinterest board that everybody checks now and again? Does anybody check Pinterest? I don't really. Anyway, here's the thing. In most companies, ideas are everywhere. They're in the nooks, the crannies, the sticky notes, the Slack channels, the innovation labs. But beliefs, actual codified institutional brand level truths about the way the world works or what the brand stands for from a social perspective, those are rarer. And without them, your so called brilliant ideas in all those nooks and crannies, well, they're basically just lottery tickets with no winning numbers. So let's start at the beginning. So Harvard Business Review recently wrote about research and an idea called the ideas marketplace. It's a system and a process and a way of working that helps organizations surface the ideas that they already have but tend to overlook. I love this concept. It's like corporate archaeology for ideas, right? Digging up those half-baked prototypes that the R&D team buried 3 years ago and realizing, hey, this actually slaps. Did I just say slaps? I didn't mean that. That's cringy. Okay. Anyway, here's the twist. Surfacing ideas, that's great. But how do you know which ideas are worth chasing? You've got to have something even more foundational, and I call it a point of view exchange. Now, if the idea marketplace is about how a company might solve various problems, a POV or point of view exchange is about how a company decides what it believes in the first place. It's a compass, not a map. The beliefs, they're the ones that guide you when a social issue hits, when markets shift, or when a competitor forces your hand. Without it, all those big ideas, well, they might be clever, but they may not be coherent. And trust me, when companies don't build some kind of POV exchange, they can run into all kinds of predictable messes. In your company, for example, is it the loudest voice that basically represents what the brand believes? Maybe it's the CEO, the CMO, or just the person with the biggest LinkedIn following that suddenly becomes the oracle of what the brand believes. What do we believe about this industry, this commerce, this economic situation? And what happens when that person leaves for that big job at that hot new startup? Well, it's usually chaos. And that leads to the second issue, which is marketing and comms start freelancing beliefs to fill the void, sometimes overshooting into controversy, sometimes backpedaling into bland oatmeal, or actually the worst, the dreaded mushy middle. The company defaults to vague, non-committal language on social issues or industry issues or thought leadership that pleases nobody and inspires even fewer. Sound familiar? Well, now let's flip it. What happens when we actually do build a POV exchange? Well, suddenly you've got a system that can accelerate innovation. Why? Because people know where the creative guardrails are. It reduces risk because decisions are made before the crisis, not in the middle of it. And it acts as a brand safety mechanism because everybody from sales to product to marketing is pulling from the same trusted source of truth. But let me be clear. This isn't a democracy. A POV exchange isn't just which belief gets the most upvotes. That's a recipe for watered-down mush. No, it needs what I call an arbiter of good. A person, maybe a small team, empowered to filter, finalize, and guard the company's positions and beliefs. They don't create beliefs in isolation, for sure, but they do have what we in here in Hollywood call final cut. Otherwise, you don't have an exchange. What you've got is an opinion graveyard. So yeah, look at the HBR research and definitely go build an idea marketplace. It's a wonderful source of innovation, absolutely. But consider building a POV exchange first, because without beliefs, ideas are just noise. And when you know what you believe, you're not just collecting those ideas, you're able to recognize the ones that truly matter. You want a little more? Well, go to the link in the notes here, and you can actually see my full post on this idea. Remember, ideas are plentiful, beliefs are rare. The strongest companies, they invest in both. It's your story. Tell it well. I'll see you next week.